I like this one more. Sup guys, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at this Bawei knockoff of the Transformers Studio Series 05 Revenge of the Fallen Voyager class Optimus Prime, or in this case Nemesis Prime. So just like the 32 Optimus, Bawei went in their way to go ahead and do a knockoff and repaint, or multiple repaints of the 05 Optimus. And I gotta tell you, it does look pretty cool in this color scheme. Before we get into the figure, let's take a look at the packaging. So, pretty sweet packaging. Of course, you got the nice artwork of Optimus Prime, and then of course you have the Star Leader, which is the off-brand name of Optimus. And here's the ages 6 and up. And then on the side is another Star Leader with this sloped black piece right here. And on the back is a bigger artwork of Optimus, Star Leader. And then there's a whole bunch of foreign language. I guess they moved it over here because down here I have no idea what this is. On the left side is just a continuation of the artwork. On the top of the box is another, or a bigger logo of the Star Leader. And when I did get this guy in the mail, for some reason the corner on this box was a little busted. But this guy came in like another cardboard box, and that box was super busted. Anyways, that's enough of the box. Now, let's get back to the figure. So, first off, painting and sculpting, pretty good. Except for the chest. This is pretty abominable. The arms are okay, however, there's definitely some paint missing around the arm guards. Legs are pretty much the same. They do look identical to the 32 Optimus, but with this and, of course, this, you could spot the difference. Oh, and speaking of this piece, I did unfortunately get him in the box broken. This piece right here should have like 2 locks that would snap in over here, but one cracked off. I guess that's while it was being shipped over here. I'm not too sure. I didn't break it manually. The only really good way it stays in there is if it just snaps in there. Not when it's folded in. It's just going to fall off. It's just better if it's staying like there. And this time there's no die-cast metal for the foot, but they moved it on to the shin guards right here. And of course you get this abysmal flat backpack, which is very goofy. But the smokestacks don't look too bad. Let's bring in the original real quick. With the knockoff, they made the smokestacks a little bit bigger when compared to the original figure. Oh, and I did swap the head for the mouth. I like it that way. One thing I didn't mention was how there was orange clear plastic right there, rather than red, but okay. And, of course, I did purchase the one that has the purple paint. There is one where you can get it for, like, with the, a more greenish paint, but I prefer this guy. It just makes him, I prefer the yellow. It just makes him look more menacing. Whereas with the green one, not so much. It looks more of a, I don't know, Night Watch Optimus. Well, with that being said, let's get down to his accessories. Now, as you can see, the sword does appear as if it is pretty much the same. However, this clear plastic region should have been painted, which was something that was done with the original 05 Optimus Prime sword. Let me give a little comparison with that. As you can see, there's a difference. I guess they ran out of budget for the paint, but it's not notable. I killed him. Anyways, it's not noticeable if you switch it to the side. Actually, it pretty much is. The paint is a little weak. Just kind of, the clear plastic kind of glows there. Oh, and here's the Bawei 05 Star Leader compared to the 32 Star Leader's sword. As you can see, the paint job is, of course, different. And, for some reason, the Star Leader, that's the 05 mold, for some reason the swords had a little gappage right there, which I didn't really understand. I guess because the Bawei Star Leader, that's the 32 Optimus Prime mold, came with more swords. It came with 4 swords. This guy came with 2. So, I guess they just stripped some part over here for budget. It's just a guess. The figure comes with 2 swords, of course. And here he is with the swords. And I gotta say, Nemesis Prime does look cool with the swords. And it almost looks as if he's about to tear off Grinder's face. Poor guy, he died too soon. Anyone familiar with the term cannon fodder? Anyways, when you're done having the figure holding his swords, you could store them right there. There's a tab on the sword that will peg into the slot on the backpack. And they will just store in right there. They do kind of tap on each other, but it doesn't really affect anything. The figure also does, in fact, come with swappable faces, one being very odd, which I guess was the original mouthpiece. The figure did come with this type of swappable face. You had to swap it out for the proper face. But anyways, he also comes with this masked face right here. Now, of course, I could swap the faces out, but I'm not going to do that due to how much you have to fiddle with the two heads. And considering the plastic of the knockoff is a little bit less than the original 05 Optimus, I don't want to risk breaking anything. So instead, let's just compare him with some other original Hasbro accessories, that being his blaster cannons. And here he is with the sword that you hold on the hand. And here he is with some more melee weapons, that being the shield and the axe. And as you can see, what I did was I did that to Optimus Prime's hand, just to make it look as if Optimus Prime is holding the axe properly. And then, because why not, here he is with the Gatling guns, being a little bit overkill. And no, the jetpack does not fit. Neither does Jetfire. Anyways, let's talk about his articulation. Starting off, we have a ball joint at the head, ups and downs, swivel, full rotation at the arm, shoulder pad moves out, which allows an extended bend at the shoulder, bicep swivel, bend at the elbow, tight bend at the wrist. Also, excuse this thing is very wobbly. Oh, let's talk about the smokestacks real quick. The smokestacks, this time, have a ball joint. Waist swivel, legs can spread, leg can move forward, can move backwards, knee swivel, bend at the knee, shin guard moves out, the foot can move up and down, and can move from side to side. With the articulation being said and done, we can now move on to size comparison. Starting off, here he is next to the original Studio Series 05 Optimus Prime, Bawei Nemesis Prime, but with the 32 Optimus Prime mold, Bawei Weapons Master, Mechanical Alliance Nemesis Prime repaint of the Transformers Studio Series 38 Optimus, Bawei Sentinel Prime, Bawei Megatron, Studio Series Ratchet, Studio Series Jazz, and lastly, Studio Series 49 Bumblebee. And with the size comparison out of the way, now let's get down to transformation. Now, personally, what I recommend you do with the transformation on 05 Optimus is you start off with the legs. You'll simply just go ahead and move this panel out, fold in the wheel, and then just fold in the entire feet, and it'll close in like so. Same process applies with the other side. Once you're done with that, you simply just plug them in. What you're going to do is make sure you have that slide in, and then make sure that closes in as well. I think there was another, no, that was the only tab that you had to close in. And then next we work on the arms. No need to untab that because it barely wants to tab in. Anyways, you're just going to go ahead and move that out, fold in the hand, and then make sure you close that in. Unfortunately, there is no place to plug in the two pieces like the 32 Optimus mold. What you're going to want to do next is untab the shoulders, and then close them in like so. There's two tabs right there that will close in. And make sure they're straight, and just close them in together. Well, not really close them in, but just keep them there for now. And might as well rotate that. Hold up. What you got to do next is you got to rotate these, because then these two tabs right here should be plugged in together. And then make sure these two panels are tabbed in. Move this down, move this forward, and then move this as well. And then I guess just have it rest in there for now. Leave this out, untab this, leave it, actually rotate it, and then leave it right there. Open the smokestack, move that out, and hey, check it out, they actually decided to paint this, which was missing in the 32 Optimus. Rotate that as well. Actually, leave them out like so, because then what you're going to do next is you're going to move this head down, and then push that in, and then close this in. And then what you're going to do next is close in these side panels like so. What you're going to do next is move the side panels in like so. And then next what you're going to do is rotate the smokestack, have it like so, close it in, and leave it there for now. What's going to happen next is this waist will be untabbed, leave it there, close these in. I thought if I had to close these in, it would hit this spot, but turns out that wasn't really relevant. You could have just plugged in the grills whenever you wanted. Make sure everything tabs in. Make sure the shoulder pads are properly orientated like so. Next, you will extend the wheel, and then just have it close in. Make sure everything tabs in, and then make sure these are closed in. For some reason, that is not closing. Okay, there we go. And what you're going to do next is you're going to have this folded in like so. Then you'll just bend these, and make sure they close in like so. Next, make sure these are folded inwards, so that way when you fold them in, it'll just go through that gappage with no problems. Yeah, there's some problems for some reason. Anyways, just make sure they close in. And then next, what is wrong with it? Stay there. Next, what you're going to do is that slot right there will peg into that tab. And yeah, same thing goes for the other side. And there you have the truck mode. And for a rather small semi-truck, this is actually pretty good. Yeah, not as big as the 32 Optimus, but it works in its own way. And I do appreciate that Bawei added the purple flames on that one side panel, which was something they completely neglected with the 32 Optimus. Not going to turn this guy into a truck, too lazy to. The grills on the front look as if they're made of die-cast metal, but they're not. It's just normal plastic coated with some pretty good silverware. And the smokestacks being bigger than the original kind of make the truck look a little bit more accurate, which is something I really do appreciate. However, one thing I'll never really appreciate is the foot kibble over here. It's fine. Where else is it gonna go? Without the foot kibble over here, there wouldn't have been this trailer hitch over here. I wonder if it fits. I don't know. We'll check that later. Also, here we go again with the wheels not being painted with the hubcaps. But turns out Hasbro didn't do that with the original 05 Optimus. Oh, and there is in fact weapon storage. There's a tab right here that will peg into that slot right there. I guess it could also be used as like a, I don't know, a rear bayonet. Perhaps if Nemesis Prime is backing up really quick to say Optimus's leg and stabs it, and then Optimus Prime falls. I guess it would work that way. Otherwise, that type of rear defense would be very useless. And of course the bottom is looking fine and neat. Also, can you store the gun here? Not really, since it is a little long, and this is kind of blocking my way. Oh, and this side doesn't necessarily work either, because the smokestacks. So yeah, weapon storage for the sword only works. Now to test out that theory, whether the trailer goes onto the figure or not. Oh, hey, it works. Nice. However, the trailer does quite come off a little easily. That's fine. I'm glad it still fits. I don't think this was something the original 05 Optimus could do. I don't know. Let's test that theory out. Oh, it works. Well, anyways, here's a comparison between the two. As you can see, Optimus Prime is red and blue, whereas Nemesis Prime is all black with the purple stripes. And rather than silver, Optimus has like a darker shade of gray. But the two are pretty much the same mold, with the obvious repaint and some minor differences. Anyone else think it would have been cool if we ever got to see a Nemesis Prime in the movie? Would have been interesting if there was a whole chasing going on with Optimus and Nemesis, and the two finally run into each other, and they start transforming and fighting. Perhaps I should make a stop motion with that, but with the 32 Optimus mold. These guys are too flat. Well, anyways, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's all I have to say for this guy. Overall, pretty decent. But if you're going to do a Bawei vs Nemesis Prime knockoff, I suggest you do this guy. On Amazon, this figure right here is $35, whereas this one I think is like $24. But on AliExpress, it's a little cheaper. They're both 12 to 20 bucks each, which is a pretty sweet deal. Now, the original Bawei knockoff of this guy is quite similar to the original Studio Series figure, but there is a difference, that of course being the smokestacks. And the knockoff doesn't have red paint around the front of the arm right here. So yeah, keep that in mind. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is that these pieces tab off. That's because you can actually replace the chest for the Dark of the Moon chest piece. But I think that's just for the Optimus Prime Bawei knockoff, not for any of the Nemesis Prime figures. Anyways, if you want to get them somewhere cheap, I recommend checking out AliExpress. And if you like what you saw in this video, be sure to slam that like button. Be sure to share this with your friends as well. Turn on post notifications so that way you don't miss another video. Be sure to hit that big red subscriber button so that way this YouTube channel can pass 5,000 subscribers before 2024. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. See ya!